This is the Thayer Podcast for Thursday, July 18th, 2024. One thing about the Southwest, you can count on rain in the summer, and you can count on the tin horns from back east to complain about the heat they blame on global warming. They're partly responsible for Southwest thunderstorms suddenly becoming chubascos. I deplore ignorance, especially in people who are equipped to learn new things but won't. A chubasco is a very violent type of storm that can pack winds of 90 miles an hour and dump as much as 5 or 6 inches of rain in less than an hour. Chubascos are part of life along the west coasts of Mexico, Central, and South America, but not inland in the American Southwest. I'm not certain, but I think it was the popular Tucson TV weatherman Michael Goodrich who brought us the chubasco. He started his Tucson weathercasting career at KVOA in 1977. Arizona's so-called old-timer called the really wet thunderstorms frog stranglers. The thing about the Southwest in the summer is it can be raining cats and dogs on one side of the street and dry as a bone on the other. American Southwest actually has a monsoon season, much like the Middle East's Indian monsoon. As the summer ages, temperatures slowly creep into the high 90s and mid-hundreds, causing the air to rise, pulling moisture in from Baja California and the western Gulf of Mexico. As a result, a low-pressure system slowly builds up on the Nevada side of the Sierras. The flow of monsoon moisture begins the season going north, being helped by that low-pressure system. Gradually, as the calendar reaches late July and early August, that southwest low moves east. This causes a vast flow of tropical moisture to churn clockwise across the entire Southwest. When it's the hottest, the thunderstorms are at their most violent. By the way, the Four Corner area is where the borders of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona meet. Arizona's thunderstorms usually begin to build along the Mogollon Rim around midday. The Rim Country, as it's called, runs from near Kingman in Arizona's northwest, slicing diagonally into the high desert north of Lordsburg, New Mexico. The rising updrafts along the many cliffs and mountainsides cause the moist air coming across the desert to rise and become towering thunderheads, visible from all over the state. By late afternoon, the storms begin to literally fall off the rim and roll toward the southwest, growing larger as they cross the heat islands created by the Phoenix and Tucson metro areas. As this huge weather front moves down toward the southwest, its winds can create giant rolling dust storms. Some years ago, the weather people who moved here from the east correctly dubbed Arizona's massive summer dust storms haboobs, which occur regularly in arid regions all around the world. One rule of thumb, that's to say pretty much most of the time, if the temperature reaches over 100 degrees by noon, 3 days in a row, there will likely be a thunderstorm. Its intensity is generally proportional to the temperature. They call it cowboy logic. Same logic that tells you to stay out of dry creek beds and washes when you can see billowing clouds nearby. Frog stranglers and flash floods go hand in hand in the Southwest, and they both can happen in a mere instant. Monsoons, chubascos, and haboobs aside, we old-timers just love our violent summer thunder, lightning, and dust storms. I recall one summer after having moved here from Oklahoma, a friend of mine looked out the window as a big thunderstorm rolled over and remarked, "By God, it's wetter than a cow pissing on a flat rock." That about says it. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Simplify.